We're going to be treating the cheek area first using a TSK cannula. The whole concept of treating this is to make sure you understand where your introduction point will be and where the cannula will go. For this purposes, we will use a 25 gauge 38 cannula because it is fairly rigid. This allows us to transmit the cannula through the tissues to the bone and inject. If I will have the introducer needle. The introduction point is determined on where one wants to go with the cannula. The length of the cannula determines where the insertion point will be. We will use an insertion point to allow us to go anteriorly and posteriorly, so the insertion point here. The insertion point is made with the introducer needle, which is already in the box. This is a 23 gauge cannula. Little introduction point here into the skin. Just relax. Okay. The introduction point is made, the introducer needle is twisted slightly and then withdrawn out through the skin. A little click. The end of the cannula is slightly domed, which allows ease of penetration through the introduction point into the soft tissues. And from there we can then move the cannula because it is coated with silicone that allows it to slide through the tissues. And this allows us to get into the pre-periosteal plane. You can see the cannula is moving freely. At this point, the product can be injected. And I know exactly where the product is coming out because the exit port for the product is right at the tip of the cannula. So where the tip is where the product will end up. Helen, how do you feel?
I feel great.
Feel great? Do you feel any pain?
No, okay.
No. There is no pain because the cannula slides along the pre-periosteal plane and is relatively painless. So we can then again reinsert the cannula into a different area onto the pre-periosteal plane and enhance the area. That allows us to deposit the product in the right plane, in the right place.